still, press star one. Hold on. Good morning, everyone. This is Grandison Shine, Chief Marketing Officer here at Direct Business Marketing, and thank you very much for being on the webinar. We're going to continue our four-part series, and we're on part 3 of getting to the top of Google. We have sent out the replay link, and we'll continue to do that. And we will make sure that you get the replay link as soon as this is done. So that being said, we're going to bring on Mr. Dustin Fickbohm, and he's going to talk to you today about pay-per-click, or PPC. Not paper-clips, as some people call it, but pay-per-click, meaning that you pay per click. Now, he's going to explain to you how this is undoubtedly the fastest way to get to Google, on the top of Google, and I emphasize, and start getting leads immediately. So if you have the idea and the notion and the gumption just to go forward with this, you're gonna really do some things when it comes to start generating leads immediately. All the other SEO techniques are a little bit of a long play, like Dustin said, but PPC is one of the immediate ways to get on the top of Google and start getting leads. So that being said, Mr. Dustin Fickbohm, you can take it away.
All right, thank you, Grandison, for that introduction. As Grandison said, this is getting to the top of Google, and this is our third in a series of 4 ways to get to the top of Google. And just so we are clear, when we talk about getting to the top of Google, we are also referring in general to Bing and Yahoo and other search engines. We just generally refer to it as Google because it's easier when we're speaking of these types of actions. So thank you for coming on this morning or this afternoon, wherever you are. It may be morning or afternoon. And just so you know, I have 2 goals here today. One of them is to inform you on how you can do pay-per-click yourself if you choose to jump into this venture. And the other goal I have is to not waste your time. So I will be moving through this as quickly and efficiently as possible. Please, please ask questions if you have them, and I will gladly answer them. I believe Grandison is on here, obviously. Andrew Hoglum, our Chief Technical Officer, is also on the call. So any one of us has the ability to answer your questions. So if we go over something too quickly, please bring it up at the end. We'll have plenty of time for questions at the end. So this is part 3 of getting to the top of Google. A little bit about direct business marketing, and this is the slide that's always put in by the sales guys, so I kind of gloss over it because I'm not a sales guy. But we've been in business for roughly 10 years collectively, but we have all been doing the various jobs that we do within this business for much longer than that. We have a ton of experience in marketing, and we have a firm hold in the real estate industry, but we also service other small and medium-sized businesses across the country. We do work with people all over the United States. So wherever you're at, whatever industry you're in, if you have a small or medium-sized business, we feel that we can definitely help you. And we do that with a very simple philosophy of creating a marketing plan, executing the plan, and then measuring the ROI. And I think that's one of the things that we do really well as a company, is that we measure the results of whatever campaign we are running on your behalf. And that's a great thing for you because you know whether or not it's working. Sometimes you set out on a marketing endeavor and you throw all the paint at the wall to see what sticks, and you maybe feel like it might have worked or you feel like it might not have worked. We're not going to let you feel anything. We're going to show you what worked about it, what didn't work about it. We're going to help you to measure your ROI. There's the leadership team here at Direct Business Marketing, and today, because of scheduling, all 3 of these gentlemen are on this call. That is a good thing for you if you have questions later on. So a little bit more about me. I am, as Grandison said, the Chief Operating Officer here at Direct Business Marketing. And that means that I am the head, or I take care of, I manage the team that handle our local SEO, which is what we talked about in the first session of this 4-part series. I also handle the team that takes care of our organic SEO, which was part 2 on Tuesday of this series. And I handle the team that deals with pay-per-click. for our clients. That's what we'll be talking about today. And in the interest of full disclosure, I actually do much of the pay-per-click work myself, especially with our larger clients, because I love the numbers. I love the statistics involved with it. I love the analysis of it all. So I am deeply involved in the pay-per-click process here at Direct Business Marketing. And I also do a bunch of other stuff that really isn't relevant to what we're talking about today. I also invented the internet, in case you didn't know. Al Gore did not do it, I did it. And I dated Betty White in high school. But I can tell you that because you're only going to remember 10% of what you hear and 20% of what you read. So hopefully you're paying attention today. The one other thing we'd like to talk about before we get started on pay-per-click is our inbound marketing process. And it is a 4-step process, and I hope you're using something similar to this in your business. Number one, first step in the process is we want to generate traffic to your business presence, whether that is a storefront, a brick-and-mortar store, or a website, or a Facebook page. The first step in our inbound marketing process is to generate traffic to that business presence, whether it's physical or digital. When you do that, hopefully you're capturing information from the people that show up at your business physically or digitally, whether that's capturing information like name and phone number or actually capturing their dollars and more information about them, their address, whatever. Hopefully you're capturing information from those people, and then when you capture that information, step 3 is hopefully you're storing that information in an intelligent way. Now, you could store that information with a stack of business cards or a notebook and a pencil, but hopefully you're storing the information in a way that you can use it to do step 4, which is nurture the people on your list that you've captured. And I love to tell the story. I've told it 2 times already, so if you were on the other 2 webinars, I apologize. But I love it when we get a phone call from a client, and we have a client here in Phoenix, Arizona, who calls us on a regular basis and says, hey, I just want to let you know I took a listing for a home from a lead that was on my list from 3 years ago. And we have to laugh about that because it proves our process works, and it proves that there's a benefit to doing this process, because the client that I'm speaking about, they generated traffic, we helped them do it, they captured the lead and stored it, and then they spent time communicating with that client over 3 years, whether that's an email or a phone call or a postcard or however they've chosen to nurture their clients. They nurtured their client for 3 years and they turned into a sale. So hopefully you have an intelligent way to store information about what you're capturing. As Jonathan said, and I've also alluded to, this is a 4-part series. Today we are on pay-per-click, which is the 3rd in the 4-part series. Next Tuesday will be the bonus session. And I will tell you, if you plan on attending the bonus session, it would be good if you have already seen the local SEO and the organic SEO presentations, because the bonus session incorporates ideas from both of those sessions. So if you've seen both of those, that may give you a leg up, step ahead in understanding the bonus, which we'll talk about next Tuesday. So let's jump into it. First of all, there's some contact information for me directly, and I'll give you a moment to write that down if you'd like. But you'll also notice that Grant's contact information is on the bottom of every slide because he's more important than me. So it's on every single slide. And if you need to reach out to us for any reason, whether that's you want to talk about our services or you'd like a little bit of advice, whatever the reason, please feel free to do so. We are here to serve you, and that doesn't necessarily mean we're here to serve you as a customer. If you have questions, concerns, or thoughts, we are more than willing to give you advice on how to do this better. And I'll reiterate that. We're not here for our paid clients only. We're here to help anybody who wants help with their marketing process. So give us a call if you have any questions. What exactly is pay-per-click? The focus today is pay-per-click. So pay-per-click is a marketing strategy whereby a company places ads on a website and then pays a certain sum of money to the host, be it Google, Bing, Yahoo, etc., whenever their ad is clicked on. Now, here we look at results for a search for dentists in Boulder, Colorado, and everything in the red boxes is actually pay-per-click advertising, and you'll see this with most search results in Google or Bing or Yahoo. Sometimes they're displayed a little bit differently, but this is pay-per-click advertising. The ads always appear at the top of the page. They appear usually in the right column. Sometimes they'll appear at the bottom of the page as well. And these are what we talk about when we talk about pay-per-click ads. So the basics of pay-per-click ads include this. You're going to create your ad to display on a search engine results page, right? So whenever somebody searches for a term, if your ad is relevant to that term, then Google is going to show your ad. Now, it's important to know that much like an auction, the placement of your ad, and when I say placement, I'm talking about how high up is your ad. You'll notice that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there are 8 ads in the right column. Well, depending on what you bid, or depending on how you set up your campaign, your ad will appear at the top of the list, the middle of the list, the bottom of the list. So it's much like an auction in how your ad will appear on the search results. Now, you may have a higher ad placement for certain search terms than you do for other search terms, because there may be different competition levels based upon what the search term is. And the most important thing to understand is that it costs you nothing to display your ad. Google does not charge you to show your ad. They only charge you when somebody clicks on your ad. So that's one of the hidden bonuses of using pay-per-click, is that you get your ad in front of a ton of people. Every time your ad has an impression, and that's what they call it when your ad shows up in the search results, every time your ad has an impression, you have just gotten your business potentially in front of somebody else. But you're only going to pay for it if somebody actually clicks on your ad. Now, if you've been on any of the other phone calls and webinars prior to this, you know that one of the first things we do at Direct Business Marketing is we identify whether or not this marketing idea is even right for your business. We're not interested in putting you into a marketing campaign that's not going to be effective for your industry or what you're trying to do. So I want you to consider a few things as we go through the pay-per-click process to determine whether or not this is even right for you. So the first thing you should maybe consider, and hopefully this is information you know, do you know the frequency with which you turn a lead into a listing? Does it take 10 leads for you to get one listing if you're a realtor? Or does it take 20 visitors to your website to turn them into a sale if you're a retailer? Or does it take 20 leads to turn into a listing? What is the frequency with which you turn somebody visiting your digital presence into an actual sale, right? And do you know how much you can afford to pay for a lead? If you're selling a $20 product, can you afford to pay $2 per click to capture that $20 sale? Or can you afford to pay $10 per click? So how much does it cost you? How much can you pay for a lead to turn it into a profit? Now, obviously, with things like real estate, there's maybe a much larger window, because of the real estate transaction, you're making thousands of dollars typically, so you can afford to pay a little more. But this is an important idea if you're selling a $4 widget. You don't necessarily want to use pay-per-click if you're selling a $4 widget, because it's going to cost you $1 or $2 to get a customer, and you're not always going to get a customer per click. So a good idea to take stock of what exactly you're offering and can you afford to pay for leads. The other thing to consider, do you have at least a one-time sum of $500 to actually try out pay-per-click? And the reason that I put the number at $500 is because you're going to have to try this out to see if it actually works. You can't do this for one day and say it doesn't work, right? So you should have some skin in the game to try out pay-per-click to see if this is right for your business. I say $500 because $500 will get you roughly $15 a day in advertising over the course of a month. And with a number like $15, that will typically get you, depending upon your industry, enough information and data to determine whether or not pay-per-click actually works for you. So if you're going to try out pay-per-click, I suggest having a budget of one-time $500 to actually see if it works. And one of the great things about pay-per-click is that you will know if it works after 30 days. Now, this is a big one. Do you have a habit of following up with leads promptly? And I bring this up because we actually we need you as a client if you're working with us, and if you're not working with us, if you're doing this yourself, you need to ask yourself the honest question of, do I follow up leads promptly? Because if you don't follow up your internet leads promptly and you're not storing them, like we mentioned in our generate, capture, store, nurture process, then pay-per-click may be a waste of money for you, to be perfectly honest. If you can't follow up your leads, then you should probably not be doing pay-per-click. There are other places where you can get free leads, whether they're referrals or friends or whatever, right? So don't pay for a lead if you don't have a good habit of following up on leads, all right? I don't want you to waste your money. I don't want you to waste your time. I don't want you to waste my time. So make sure you can follow up on the leads promptly, and if you can, then we are going to have success in this process. Do you have a place to store your leads and nurture them? And the reason why I bring this up is because there is an ancillary benefit to running pay-per-click. Excuse me. There's an ancillary benefit to running pay-per-click if you're capturing information from people and you're storing it. As I said in the example earlier, you might not turn a lead into a listing after 3 days, but you might turn a lead into a listing after 3 months or 3 years. So if you can store the leads and nurture them, then pay-per-click is a great way to grow your list. And hopefully all of you have a list and you're continually trying to grow it. And you have a solid offer or product for people to click on your ad. And what I mean by this is, we don't want to run pay-per-click just to your website so people can look around and find out more about you. If we're running pay-per-click, we want to give them the shortest distance between the search engine and you making $1. So whether that is giving them free information in return for their, giving them free information in return for their information, or whether that is giving them a product to buy, we want to make sure we have a solid offer or product in place so that when they click on the ads, you actually generate some income, or there's a potential to generate some income in the future. I put this question in there because oftentimes we see people running pay-per-click campaigns to a home page. They're running an ad so people can come to the home page of their website. And maybe that's good for brand awareness, and maybe people will surf around your specific website and find a way to contact you and give you their information, or buy the product that you're selling. But it is in your best interest to have a solid offer or product in place so that when they click on the ad, they are the shortest distance between the search engine and making $1. All right? All things to consider when you decide whether or not you should be running pay-per-click. So how does this whole process work? Well, to start, you need to determine what your offer or product or service is that you'd like to advertise. If you're a retailer, this is somewhat of a no-brainer. If you're selling mattresses or widgets or hamburgers, then what you're offering, your advertising is fairly straightforward. If you are in a service industry, then your offer might be a little more difficult to arrive at, but we can help with that process. Or maybe you already know something you can offer people to get their contact information. So make sure you have an offer in place, or you know what offer, products, or service you'd like to advertise. When you've done that, you need to set up an account with one of the host advertisers, and the big ones are Google, Bing, Yahoo, and Facebook. We always go with Google first, and I'll explain a little bit more about why we do that later. But after you have an offer, a product, or service, you're going to set up an account with a host advertiser, one of those places. I suggest Google first. And then you're going to identify your target audience. We'll talk about how you identify your target audience with each of these mediums a little later in this discussion, but that's the next step in the process. Now you want to create your ads based upon what you're offering, or the product you're selling, or the service you're providing. And then you're going to set a budget and start your campaign. And there are a variety of ways to do that. We'll talk about that as well. And then after you have started your campaign, you're going to want to modify and adjust your campaign on a daily or weekly basis so that you're always getting the best results possible. And we'll talk about some of the things you can modify and adjust throughout the process. So how do we do this? Well, As I said, the first thing we do is determine an offer. So if you're selling a product, it's important that your ad, your offer, is linked directly to the product or the product category that you're speaking about in your ad impressions through the search. If you are capturing a lead and not selling a product, like many of our real estate clients do, they're simply trying to capture a lead so they can contact the lead or nurture the lead, then you want to give away something of value, whether that's a home evaluation or a market analysis, whatever it is you're giving away of value. You want to give away something of value so you can get something in return. And your link should be going directly to that something of value. Don't expect that your ad goes to your homepage and somebody will find that something of value within your website. Make sure the link is going directly to that something of value that you're going to give them. Make it painfully obvious exactly what you want them to do after they click on your link. You want them to fill out a form. You want them to download a document. Whatever it is your offer is, make it painfully obvious the moment after they click what you should do. Then you want to choose your host advertiser. Now you've got a lot of choices when you choose your host advertiser. Google, Yahoo, Bing, and Facebook are the four that come to mind immediately. I will tell you that we have experience in all of these, and we strongly suggest going with Google first. Now, I will tell you that Google is the most expensive of the four, but I'll also tell you that Google provides the best results based upon our experience. Yahoo is going to be cheaper, the cheapest of the search engines to run pay-per-click advertising. But Yahoo's results are not nearly as good as Google's in our experience. That doesn't mean you can't have great results on Yahoo, but in our experience, Google has far outperformed Yahoo or Bing. So that's maybe the benefit of Yahoo, is that their cost per click is significantly lower than Google. But that also might be because their competition is significantly lower than Google. One thing to note about Bing, and one of the great things about Bing, I think it's brilliant that they've done it this way, Bing's campaigns, if you set up a campaign with Google and then you set up a campaign with Bing, you can actually go into Bing and say, hey Bing, I want my campaign in your services to be just like in Google. So here's my Google information, and Bing will suck all of your Google information into the Bing account, and your Bing campaign can run very similar to how your Google campaign runs. It's very easy to set up if you've already got something set up with Google. Now, Facebook is an entirely different animal because it is not a search engine. And when you're running ads on Facebook, it's actually considered interrupted marketing. And what I mean by interrupted marketing is that people are on Facebook to do something besides search for your product or service. So you're actually interrupting what their intention is to get them to click on your ads. It's a more difficult sale process, so typically Facebook ads don't turn a great result. With Google, Yahoo, and Bing, people are actually searching for your product or service, generally speaking, when they see your ad. So they see your ad related to what they're searching for. You're not interrupting what their intention is. Facebook is a lot like commercials on the radio or the television. The intent of the user is not to look for your product or service. You're interrupting what their intention is and trying to get them to avert to what you want. So that is part of the reason why we don't generally recommend Facebook. It does work for some businesses that are maybe a little more social. There are ways to use Facebook and Facebook ads to get a better result, but generally speaking, and because this is about getting to the top of Google and search engines, we recommend highly that you start with Google and you move on from there if you have a budget to use on multiple sites. Define your target audience. So if you're going to define your target audience and you're using pay-per-click for your search engines, there are two specific ways to define your target audience. First of all, via location. Now, if you're a retailer and you're selling online and you're selling to the entire country, then defining your location might be as simple as saying, show my ad to the entire United States. But if you are location specific, if your business is location specific, if you only work in a certain area, where you have a one physical storefront in a specific area, then you want to define your target audience by that specific area. There are a number of ways to do that, and you'll see if you set up a campaign the number of ways to do that. But you can do it by zip code or cities or states or Nielsen ratings demographics. You can do a variety of different ways via search engine. The other way you're going to define your target audience with pay-per-click via search engine is by keywords. You're going to tell the search engine, the host advertiser, that you only want your ads, your pay-per-click ads, to show up for specific keywords that are searched, right? So if you're selling mattresses, you only want your ads to show up when people are searching for things relevant to mattresses. If you are selling homes, you only want your ads to show up when people are searching for things relevant to home searches, right? So that's the other way to define your target audience via pay-per-click through search engines. Just briefly about Facebook, if you're using pay-per-click via Facebook, Facebook gives you a mountain of information, mostly demographic, to figure out how exactly to define your target audience. And they have so much information that if you look at all the information you have, you might think it's a little bit creepy. They know your age, your location, your industry, your income. They know what your interests are. They know which articles you click on the most. They know which of your friends you talk with the most. So if you're defining within Facebook, there's a whole different way to identify your target audience within Facebook based upon demographics. And there are really some great tools to define your target audience. Unfortunately, that doesn't take away from the fact that you're still using interruptive marketing with Facebook. So, define your target audience. After that, you want to create your ads. So when you create your ads, you define your target audience, you know the location you're in, you know the industry you're trying to get the attention of, right? The search terms that you're focused on. See what's already out there. Check out the other ads that are running in the same space that you want to run ads. And when you do that, you'll be able to identify what is your USP. What's your unique selling point? What's your unique selling proposition? And from that, hopefully, you can generate and create ads that help you stand apart from all the other people that are running ads for those specific keywords in your specific area. This is critical. When you create your ads, Google and the other search engines, they provide a quality score, what they call a quality score. And I'm not going to go into great detail about what a quality score is, but what I will tell you about a quality score for your ads and your keywords is that they want your ads, your keywords, and the landing page that your ads are sending people to be married. They should all be linked somehow. They should all incorporate the same keywords with the search terms, keywords in the ad, keywords on the landing page. So if you're selling a queen-size mattress, you should have the keyword phrase queen-size mattress in your ads. And that should be one of the keywords you're targeting in search engines. And when they get to whatever landing page you're sending them to, hopefully that landing page is a queen-size mattress. If you're also selling king-size mattresses, then you should have a separate set of ads for king-size mattresses that focuses on a separate set of keywords about king-size mattresses that takes them to a landing page with a king-size mattress. So your ads, your keywords that you're targeting, and your landing page should all be married. And this is important to Google because when all things are married, your quality score for your ad is better and Google is more inclined to show your ad. All right? So this is very critical in the process. Make sure your ads, your keywords, and your landing page are married. They all say much the same thing. All right? Then when you're creating your ads, we strongly suggest you create multiple ads. This is to test the market. Unless you know that your one ad you write is solid gold marketing genius, you should be creating multiple ads because different people will react to different ads, right? So create multiple ads to test the market. And if you have different products or services, much like I gave you an example earlier with queen size mattress or king size mattress, if you have multiple products or services, then you should be creating multiple ads for each of those products or services. One ad about your store just simply will not do it if you want to have an effective campaign. After you create your ads, you get to set your budget and other criteria. So setting your budget, first of all, you can define how much do you want to spend per day. And given the fact that the average pay-per-click amount you're going to pay is in the $1 to $2 range, it stands to reason that you should be setting your budget in a way that you're going to get multiple clicks per day. So we recommend starting with about $500 budget per month. That gives you $15 per day to spend on your advertising campaign, right? And with $15 per day, you can generate 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 clicks per day, and that will help you understand whether or not your campaign is actually working. So the first thing to do is set your budget per day. Now, after you set your budget per day, you can also define how much do you want to spend per click. Now, if you decide you don't care how much you spend per click, you can have Google decide how much you want to spend per click, and they will adjust your bid accordingly throughout the process of running your ads to move you up or down the placement of your ads. But if you find out that it doesn't matter where your ad is placed, you wrote an ad so good that it's getting clicked on, whether it's in the first position or the 7th position, then maybe you want to spend a little bit more per ad, and you don't mind being in position 7. So you can also govern how much you spend per click, and that will generally guarantee you're getting a certain number of clicks per day. Assume your budget will be spent. If there's one thing I know for certain, it's that Google, if they can spend your money on ads, they will. And the same is true with Yahoo and Bing. So whatever you set your daily budget or your spend per click budget at, just know that Google is going to find a way to spend your budget so long as they can. They are going to spend the money you allocate to them every single day because they're in the business of making money. So after you set your budget and started your campaign, you need to modify and adjust your campaign on a regular basis. Now, there are a lot of ways you can modify and adjust your campaign. After you've seen your campaign running for a day or 2 days or a week or a month, you should be taking a look at the keywords. What you'll find out is that a number of the keywords you're targeting might generate clicks that don't make any sense. You would think that it's common sense when you write an ad that somebody is going to click on your ad only because they read your ad and it makes sense to them. But if your ad says, find the best doctor in Phoenix, Arizona, you might find out that somebody searched ingredients of Dr. Pepper and your ad showed up, and for whatever reason, they clicked on your ad. It happens every single day, millions of times. People click on an ad that really wasn't even relevant to the search. I can't tell you why it happens. I don't think Google can tell you why it happens, but it does happen. So the first place I suggest you modify and adjust your campaign is with keywords to make sure that you're getting the clicks you want to get. The people that are searching for your actual service or product are clicking on your ads. The next thing you can adjust is your bid amount. After you've run your ad for a few weeks, you might notice that you're paying a lot per ad, but you could pay less per ad and get more clicks. So you may want to adjust your bid amount down, or you may want to adjust your bid amount more so you actually get clicks. You might have such a low bid amount that you're never showing up in placement of your ads, and therefore you're never getting clicks. So you might need to increase your bid amount just to get quality clicks, right? Ads. If you are running a campaign and you're not seeing results from it at all, maybe you need to adjust your ads. That's a great place to look. And Google has the resources within their service, so does Bing and Yahoo. They will show you which ads of yours they're showing most frequently. They'll show you which ads are getting clicked on most frequently. So you may want to adjust the ads that are not being clicked on. change the text in the ads or get rid of the ads completely, create new ads with new ad copy. But this is another place you can look to optimize your campaign. And sadly to say, there are times when your offer or product just simply doesn't work well. And we have seen that happen with certain clients where their offer isn't enticing enough for people to actually act. So sometimes you have to actually modify or adjust whatever you're offering, whatever product you're selling. Maybe what you are offering or selling just isn't right for pay-per-click, or maybe you've made it incredibly difficult for somebody to go through with your offer or purchase your product. So that's the other thing. If you're seeing no results from your pay-per-click campaign, you should consider your offers and your products that you're selling. So this is just briefly a report that we send to our clients, the clients that we manage. Now, if you're doing this yourself, you certainly don't need to generate a report like this, but for our clients, they don't see the internal data that comes from Google. So we provide a report to them so that they know what exactly is happening with the pay-per-click campaign we're managing for them. Depending on what your business, industry, offer, products are, this report will change, but this is just a general report for one of our clients that happened to be in the mortgage industry. So he was generating leads for people that were looking for a mortgage. They needed a loan to buy a house or whatever, to refinance. So this is the data we gave him. But depending upon your industry, the product you are selling, the service you're offering, your report may change, but this gives the demographics to our clients. This gives the statistics, I should say, to our clients so they can see exactly how their campaign is performing because they're not in there day to day. Now, if you're running a campaign yourself, all of this information will be at your fingertips in real time. So this generally isn't something you have to do if you're setting up your own pay-per-click campaign. All right, some words of wisdom here as you embark on this process if you want to do it yourself. We spoke about the Google Keyword Planner in our organic SEO, but it's also an incredibly useful tool for pay-per-click. So if you go to Google and you search Google Keyword Planner, you're going to come up with this screen eventually. And what this screen will do is it will say, what are your products or services offering? You'll see that there in the information box. And it'll also ask for a landing page. Where are you sending your ads to? When they click on your ad, where are they going? You can put your landing page in there. And if you'd like to, you can put in your product category. You certainly don't need to with this process, but you can. And then also tell them what area you're targeting. If you're selling across the country, then obviously you leave it at United States. But if you have a specific target area, like Phoenix metro area, then you want to change the target area that you're targeting with your ads. Now, Google is going to give you, when you use this process, a ton of keywords that you should consider targeting. I would strongly suggest you go through the entire list because they're trying to give you all kinds of stuff to get your ad to show up so that somebody will click on it and you pay them money, right? But you'll find out that there are tons of terms when you use this keyword planner that simply are not relevant to what you're trying to offer, what you're trying to sell. So this is a great tool for ideas, but take their ideas with a bit of caution because they are giving you everything between A and Z that might somehow be relevant to your product or service. But it's a great tool to start with because they give you some ideas that you might not have thought about. Another word of wisdom here, neglect equals wasted money. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you're not checking and adjusting your pay-per-click campaign on a minimum of once a week, and hopefully you're doing it on a more regular basis than that, then you will, over time, be wasting more and more money. Google is going to spend your money, or Bing or Yahoo, they're going to spend your money in some way, shape, or form. But they don't necessarily care how they spend your money or the results of your campaign. All they care about is that you're getting the clicks that they promised you would get. They're going to spend your money, so you should be checking and adjusting your campaign once per week. And that, as I said before, start with the keywords. That's where the biggest wasted money is. the keywords that are being clicked on, the ads that are generating the clicks that aren't relevant to your search at all. And I gave you the Dr. Pepper example. There are 1,000 other examples like that. So start with the keywords to optimize your campaign. Another word of suggestion here, don't overtinker. You need to make changes and let time pass to see if the changes have actually helped or hurt your campaign. If you don't have results from certain keywords in one day, I wouldn't panic. Don't overtinker here. Let the process play out to see if it is actually effective. And the other thing we have noticed throughout this process is that you should be making small changes. When you make large wholesale changes, when you make big changes like triple your budget or add 500 keywords at a time or remove 7 of your 10 ads, when you make giant changes, for whatever reason, Google is upset by that and the entire flow of your campaign is completely thrown off. You, generally speaking, will see results diminish if you make big changes. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I can't explain why that happens. I have asked Google about it as I'm on the phone with Google on a regular basis, why it happens, and they don't have any logical answers for it. But I can tell you that if you make large-scale changes with your pay-per-click campaign, that it generally negatively affects your campaign. So as you're optimizing it, as you're changing it on a regular basis, make small changes. Add a little bit to your budget. Add a few keywords. Take away 1 ad or 2 ads. Whatever you're doing to change your campaign, make small changes over time so that we don't upset the Google gods, right? Another word of wisdom here, ask for help, but do it cautiously. I will tell you, in my experience working with Google, Yahoo, and Bing, that generally speaking, their customer service is great. They really do a great job for a large company. They do a great job of helping you achieve your desired results. I call Google on a regular basis and speak with them about optimizing campaigns, about what's happening within the campaigns that we're managing. And I can tell you that they are always great about helping. Every single time they're great about helping. But I also know, in dealing with them, that within those customer service phone calls, they're also trying to find ways for you to spend more money with them, right? So when you ask for help, they're going to give it to you. You're going to get great advice from these places every time you ask for help. And do it. Ask for help. They have great experience in what they're doing, much more than you or I, right? So ask for the help, but understand when you're asking for the help that one of their objectives is to get you to spend more money. It's a great resource. I suggest if you're going into pay-per-click on your own, use them and abuse them, but be cautious about doing it. Another thing with Google pay-per-click, and this is also true for Yahoo, I don't know, I'm not familiar enough with Bing's advertising to know about their specific add-ons, but this is a great tool with Google pay-per-click. They have a number of add-ons, things that you can attach to your ad to make your ad more appealing to people. The first of which is a phone extension. So if you're creating ads with Google pay-per-click, you can add a phone extension whereby somebody can click on your ad if they're on a mobile device and actually call you from your ad. That's what a phone extension does. It allows the searcher to call you from your ad. So if you can take phone calls, then I would suggest adding a phone extension to your ads. It's important to note that you can actually dictate when the phone extension shows up as well. So if you want a phone extension to show up on your ad, you can say, hey, only call me between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Central Time or Mountain Time or wherever you're at, right? You can define what days and times they call you with your phone extension. Link extensions. Link extensions are another thing you can add to your ads to give people additional options within your ad to click on links. So maybe I'm selling foam mattresses and my advertising, my pay-per-click ad is about foam mattresses. I can create a secondary link within my ad that is specifically for queen size foam mattresses. So the main ad will click to a page that sells mattresses, and the link extension will click to a specific page that sells queen-size mattresses. So link extensions are a great way to increase the size of your ad, because with a link extension, your ad is larger. And it also gives them a secondary option to click on and get to whatever it is you're offering. Location extensions. Now, location extensions generally refers to people that are searching locally for your business or service. If they click on your ad, a location extension gives them the opportunity to find you on a map and navigate to you. So if you have a business where you want people to find you physically, your store, your burger joint, your mattress store, whatever it is, you can use location extensions so that when your ad shows up on their mobile device or even on a desktop, they can click on it and see where you're at on a map. Another great way to get your ad a little bit bigger when it's showing up and give people a way to find you. And review extensions. We don't use review extensions too often, but review extensions are a great way to kind of promote you as a person or a business. You can add extensions to your pay-per-click ads that show reviews of your business from popular review sites like Yelp and Google Plus and other places like that. So your ad will show up for your general offer, whatever it is, or product you're selling, and then below your ad, there'll be links to places like Google Plus or Yelp that have a review of your business. So people can click on that link as well and see how great you're doing with your business from positive reviews, right? Obviously, if you have negative reviews, you probably don't want to use a review extension. So, you're going to do pay-per-click. What are the benefits of doing it? What are the drawbacks? Well, to start with, there's some instant gratification to be done with pay-per-click. If you start pay-per-click today, there's a great chance that you can have a lead tomorrow. I can't necessarily say that's true for local SEO or organic SEO, the two things we talked about previously with this webinar series, but there's instant gratification with pay-per-click. If you start your campaign today, you will generate leads tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Now, obviously, we've been talking about getting to page one of Google. With pay-per-click, you sign up for the service, you start the service, you're automatically on page one of Google. With local SEO and organic SEO, we can't tell you that's going to happen today or tomorrow or in a week or a month or a year. Those are long play. As Grandison said when he introduced me today, local SEO and especially organic SEO, that's a long play. That's an investment in your business. So pay-per-click is an investment in your business too, but it's an investment that you know will turn out tomorrow. You can be on page one of Google tomorrow if you use pay-per-click services. I love this one. This is maybe the greatest benefit, in my opinion, of doing pay-per-click is that it's very easy to measure your ROI. We know exactly how much to a penny that you're spending with your pay-per-click. And from the leads or the products you're selling, you can tell how much money you're making from those clicks, right? If you're in the real estate industry and you get a lead from Mary Jones, and Mary Jones turns into a listing and you sell her house for her, you know that you made X amount of dollars from that, and you know it cost you this much money to generate the lead via pay-per-click. It's very easy to measure the ROI of pay-per-click. It's not as easy to do that with local SEO or organic SEO because it's tougher to tell where the leads are coming from, when organic SEO actually led to the lead, how much money you put into organic SEO. So this is a great service if you like to measure your ROI because you will know exactly how much you spent and exactly how much you made. And I spoke about this briefly before, but brand awareness. Using pay-per-click, you only pay when people click on your ads. So generally speaking, your ads are going to show up 10 to 100 times more than the number of times they click. So if you get 10 clicks a day, your ad might show up 1,000 times. Now, those 1,000 times it shows up, inherently, you're going to get your business name in front of people searching for your product or service. They might not choose to click on your ad, but you still got your name in front of them. So there's, generally speaking, some brand awareness that comes with running a pay-per-click campaign. And that's one of those ancillary benefits that people don't often think about, but it's something that's out there, and it helps you grow your business just simply by making other people aware that you exist. So what are the drawbacks to the system? Well, there's a certain amount of technical expertise required. You have to have the ability to navigate around through each one of these systems and understand exactly what you're doing with the systems. And I believe that anybody that's comfortable using a computer can navigate their way through the process if you choose to set up your own pay-per-click campaign. But there are some technical aspects to it that take a little more expertise than maybe the average Joe has. I think you can probably tackle it, and obviously with the customer service, the great customer service that many of these services have, I think each of you could individually handle it yourself if you chose to. There does take you do need to provide constant attention to your campaign. As I said before, there's a lot of places where you can waste money in a pay-per-click campaign. So constant attention to your campaign will really determine how well your campaign performs. If you don't have the time or the energy to go into your pay-per-click campaign on a very regular basis and weed out the junk and optimize the good stuff, then you're going to find yourself wasting money with your pay-per-click campaign. If you don't have the time, it might not be good for you. And obviously with pay-per-click, you're paying for leads. I know you can get a lead from your sister or your aunt or your neighbor's cousin's uncle's brother's sister, right? So there are places for you to get free leads. With pay-per-click, obviously, you're paying for leads. Now, hopefully that doesn't scare you away, because hopefully you know that you can pay X amount of dollars for a lead and still generate a great profit from your product or service. So paying for leads is a drawback that many people see with pay-per-click, but the truth is, as long as you know your numbers, pay-per-click is a great resource. So I list it as a drawback, but it's only a drawback if you don't understand how much profit you're making when you pay for a lead, how much you can afford to pay for a lead. All right, so let's summarize exactly what we've talked about, and we'll give you an opportunity to ask questions. I know that I went through this incredibly fast, and I apologize if it was too fast for any of you, but we're going to determine our offer, product, service, whatever free information we're giving away, right? We're not going to run our pay-per-click campaign to a homepage of our website. It is not in your best interest to do so. We want to get them the shortest distance between the search engine and you making $1. So what's your offer? Let's get them to that offer in one click. You're going to set up your account with a host advertiser, Google, Yahoo, Bing, or Facebook. I strongly suggest you start with Google. It has proven to be the most productive for our clients, and I think that will be the case for you as well. Define your target audience. You'll do that with keywords and location, generally speaking, if you're in a search engine. And when you're doing it with keywords, I suggest you start off small when you identify your target audience and build it from there. That's maybe the best way to grow your campaign and not waste money. Start small with your target audience and grow it as you get more comfortable with the process. Then you're going to create the ads. And like I said before, you're going to create multiple ads, see what works. You're going to try a number of different things. You're going to see what else is out there. Try to give your ads a unique selling point or a unique selling proposition so that you stand out from the other ads. Determine how much you want to spend. You should have some budget that you know you're going to spend to see if this actually works, all right? If you're going to go into this process with $1 a day, then don't waste your time. So what is the budget you are willing to spend to see if this works? And you're going to launch your campaign and modify and adjust. And maybe modify and adjust is the biggest part of this process that you need to pay attention to, because, as I have said a number of times already in this webinar, Google is going to find a way to spend your money, or Bing or Yahoo, so you need to be constantly modifying and adjusting so they're not wasting your money. And they will waste your money if you allow them to, because all they want to do is make sure your ads are clicked on so they get their dollars. So make sure you're modifying and adjusting your campaign on a regular basis after it's set up so that you're not wasting money. Optimize, optimize, optimize. Now, we can do it for you. From start to finish, we'll do it for you. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to help you determine what offer is right for your business. And if you're in the real estate field, we already have an offer that we know works well for you. We'll gladly talk to you about it. But if you're in other fields besides real estate, then we will help you determine what offer is right for you. If you're selling a product, obviously the offer is, generally speaking, the product, right? So that makes it a no-brainer for you, but we're going to help you determine the right offer for your business if need be. Then we're going to identify the target audience for you, and we have a ton of expertise in identifying the target audience, so we probably, and this might sound arrogant, but I bet we can do it better than you can. So we're going to identify the target audience for you, and we're going to write the ads. We are, after all, a marketing company. We are seasoned in writing ads that produce results. So we're going to write the ads for you. We're going to modify and adjust your campaign daily and weekly, and this is maybe where we have the most value to you as our potential client, in that you don't have to babysit your campaign to optimize it and make sure you're not wasting money. We do it for you on a daily and weekly basis. And then we're going to give you a report on your progress. So if we do it for you, we're going to show you the results that we're providing. You're going to see that on a weekly basis, and you're going to know what's working for you, and we're going to know what's working for you. Part of the great thing about reporting these, or creating progress reports for our clients, is that we see in plain numbers what's working for you just like you do, and we know when to modify and adapt. So if you want us to do it for you, we got a special pricing for the first month, and I think you'll like it. Yep, it's free. So this is the part where I explain what free means. So if you are going to utilize direct business marketing to set up your pay-per-click campaign, we are going to manage your campaign in the first month for free. Now, here's the problem. Whoever the host advertiser is, and in most cases it's going to be Google, the host advertiser still needs their money. We can't do anything about that. They are still going to charge you to put ads on their website. But we're going to set it up and manage it for you for free in the first month. We can't do anything about the fact that Google wants their money. Neither can you, so it's just something we have to accept. But it is free to you from the standpoint that you don't have to pay us $1 to set up your campaign or manage it. All right? Now, we do have a minimum budget that you spend with the host advertiser if you want to try this process out for free. And the reason we have a minimum budget is that we don't want you to come to us and say, well, I'm going to spend $10 this month to see if it works, because it will not work at $10 for the entire month. So we require a minimum budget to get you started, because we need to have some skin in the game with Google to actually run an effective campaign and prove that results are there. We are not Netflix. What the heck does that mean? Okay, well, if you've ever signed up for Netflix, you know that Netflix also gives the first month free. Now, what Netflix and a ton of other services don't say is, after the first month, they automatically charge your card because you are on their subscription. But we are not Netflix. So after the first month, we are going to stop your campaign, and we are going to communicate with you via email or phone call, preferably phone call, and say, how did you like the results? Do you feel like this is worth your time and energy and money to continue your pay-per-click campaign? And if you decide to continue, then we're going to move on. We're going to continue with your campaign. If you decide you didn't like the results, then that's it. You can wash your hands of us, we can wash our hands of you, and you can go on your merry way. But we are not going to automatically charge you for our services after 30 days. Now, here's one of the great things about pay-per-click. After 30 days, you're going to know. You will know that we have produced results for you, or we haven't produced results for you. You're going to know in 30 days that this is something that's viable for your business to make money. You will know in 30 days. The truth is, you might know in less than 30 days. But I'll guarantee you, you know in 30 days that this works for you or it doesn't work for you. That's why we give you the first month free. I'm pretty confident in our services here at Direct Business Marketing, especially as it pertains to pay-per-click. So we're going to give you the first month for free. We're going to manage it. We're going to set it up and manage it. And after 30 days, we're going to ask you, do you want to continue and you will know in 30 days whether or not it's right for you and your business. All right, it's time for me to get in my soapbox a little bit. And I do this because we have seen pay-per-click campaigns fail despite the results we provide. So I want you to take a close look at yourself in the mirror and really answer the question, can I follow up on leads? If you can't follow up on leads in a timely manner, then please don't do pay-per-click. You will not like the results we provide for you, and we probably won't like working with you because we'll feel like we're doing our job and you're not doing yours. That's just the truth, all right? We have clients who get the same results as somebody else in a different area, but they get no business from the same results. And the reason is they don't follow up on their leads, or they don't like internet leads. There are certain clients that we get great results for, but they're like, well, I just don't like internet leads. All the people clicking on my ads give me their information, but then they don't call. Right, because you're supposed to call them. So I want to get on my soapbox a little bit here and let you know that you really need to be honest with yourself about whether or not you can follow up leads. I don't want you to waste your money or your time with pay-per-click, and I don't want you to waste my time with pay-per-click if you can't follow up a lead. The only people that we have ever seen fail in pay-per-click with our services is the people that don't follow up the leads. And we know that because as we go through this process, we'll say, here are the 12 leads you got this month. What happened when you contacted this person or this person or this person? And our client will say, well, I didn't contact those people. Well, you got the lead. What were you going to do with it? So I'll get off my soapbox now, but really take a look in the mirror and ask yourself, can I follow up on leads promptly? If you can follow up on leads promptly, you should be doing pay-per-click. This is right for you. We will generate results for you. We will get you the leads, or you will get the leads for yourself, and you will create business from pay-per-click. All right? This is far and away our favorite way of doing business with customers because the results are there consistent. So that's all I've got for you. I'll get off my soapbox, and now it's your turn to ask the questions that you have about the 30 minutes of rambling that I just did.
Well, actually, the rambling was pretty good because there are a lot of questions, Dustin. So for those of you who are still online, make sure you stay because these questions are pertinent to what we're talking about, of course, but they're really good questions. So thank you all for those who submitted questions. So the first one I have is, I don't have a place where I can store / nurture leads. What do you recommend, and does it nurture automatically? Very good question.
That is a great question. So there are a number of services that will allow you to store leads and nurture leads. We have one within our company called SharpSpring that we recommend to our clients. So there are a number of places that you can number of services that you can find to store your leads, and most of the services that allow you to store your leads also allow you to nurture your leads. Now, we can create a nurturing campaign on your behalf, or you can create one yourself.
I don't know if you want emails that go out afterwards, correct?
Subsequent emails, or even a combination of emails and reminders to call people, right? There are a number of ways to set up a nurture campaign. I don't know if you want to jump in here at all and talk about CRMs a little bit, what is out there, what you think is best based on industry. Drew, you have any input here?
Sure. I would, obviously we're partial to the one we use, which is called SharpSpring, because it does a lot of marketing automation. But there's many CRMs out there, from very inexpensive to very expensive. So the short answer is we recommend one called SharpSpring, and we can get you discounts on that if you want to purchase that. But if you're looking for something on the very inexpensive end, something to store leads and email to leads would be MailChimp, would be on the free to very inexpensive. SharpSpring is a full body CRM that is a little more expensive. It's more like $200 a month. So I would start with those two places.
Right. Okay. SharpSpring, give me a shout if you want to. We can also do a demo on that. I will offer that to you also, so I'll put that out there. Second question is, does Zillow and Trulia, Realtor.com, actually use pay-per-click? They are listed on the right side where you say it is on pay-per-click in my town, or is no longer doing pay-per-click, and it's kind of, this last part of it's a little vague. So it says, or is no one doing pay-per-click in Zillow, Realtor.com, or something show up? Something, I don't understand the last part of the question. So basically they're asking, does Zillow, Trulia, and Realtor.com use pay-per-click? Because she sees some ads on the right side on her,
There's
town.
To answer the last question, there's no default pay-per-click. It's not, Google's not just going to advertise for these companies for free. So if there's an ad up, they're paying for it.
Okay. All right.
Right, Dustin? I mean, if there's an ad, they're paying for it.
Well, I would generally say yes, but the truth is that the way Google does business, who knows if they're giving away free ads, really. But I do also wonder. I do also wonder if the question pertained to ads actually on Zillow and Trulia. And if that is what the question pertained to, the ads that appear on Zillow and Trulia, I am not familiar enough with Zillow and Trulia to know how their advertising works. I will tell you, however, that Google and Yahoo and Bing, they give you the option to place your ads in places other than the search engines, and that is called the partner network or the display network. So you can actually have your Google ads show up on places other than the search engines that may be relevant to your search terms.
Right. Okay. All right. Next question. It's a pretty good one. It says, if Google is the best, what would be an advantage of using other search engines?
Well, the advantage to using Bing is that it is incredibly easy to use if you already have a Google campaign set up. You simply import all your Google information into Bing. One of the things I like about Yahoo is, this is more of a personal preference, but Yahoo has some interesting ways of displaying their ads. If you actually were to go to the Yahoo homepage and scroll down through their articles, you will see that about 1 in every 3 to 5 articles has a little piece of text below the article description that says sponsored. And that is one of the places that Yahoo shows ads. So Yahoo actually makes their ads appear as other articles, right? You're almost tricking people into clicking on your ads. And Yahoo, one of the benefits of using Yahoo is that Yahoo's per-click cost is generally under $1 per click across almost all industries. Now, you get what you pay for in many instances, so while it may be cheaper to use Yahoo, it's not always better to use Yahoo.
Right. Okay.
And I'll also say that Facebook, by and large, is the cheapest place to get clicks, but it's also, in my experience, the lowest converting by far as well. So while you're paying the smallest amount with pay-per-click on Facebook, you're also seeing the smallest return.
Sure. True. Next question. How many keywords do I need to use?
Well, maybe the best answer to that is to start out small. So when I say start out small, I mean start out with maybe a list of 15, 20, 25, 30 keywords that are relevant to your ad and that are searched regularly. We go back to the slide that has the keyword planner on it. Oh, there it is. So when you use the keyword planner, they're going to give you a roughly, generally speaking, they give you about 800 results, right? 800 different keywords that you might consider using for your ad. And when they give you the keyword suggestions, they'll also show you the number of times that keyword is searched. So when you're choosing the keywords to use with your ads, you want to make sure the keywords are being searched. That will tell you that because the keywords are being searched, your ad will inherently show up. If you're using keywords that are never searched, then there's no opportunity for your ad to show up. So generally speaking, with this question, you want to start small with 20, 25, 30 keywords that you know are going to show up, you know are being searched regularly, and build from there.
Okay. Next question. I've heard of the term negative keywords. What are they and how should they be used?
Sure. Negative keywords are basically keywords that may be associated with your search terms, but they don't relate to what you're actually providing. And the example I gave earlier in this webinar about searching for a doctor in the Phoenix metro area, but somebody searched for Dr. Pepper and your ad showed up. So you could use a negative keyword, pepper, and then anybody that searches for Dr. Pepper would not get shown the ad that you have that's targeted towards doctors, right? So negative keywords essentially eliminate certain search phrases so that your ads don't show up in the wrong places.
Okay.
Hopefully that makes sense.
All right. Yep, makes sense. How many different ads should I make? Two-part question. One is how many ads should I make, and then what are follow me ads?
Well, I would suggest that you start with 6 to 8 ads for any one product or service.
Okay,
you can start with maybe a few lower than that, but 6 to 8 ads would be a good place to start. You will get good data after a few weeks from those 6 to 8 ads running as to which ones are most effective. Obviously, you could just start with 2 and see which one is better, but we prefer to start with 6 to 8 at the minimum. And remember that 6 to 8 is per offer or per product. So if you have multiple offers or multiple products, then you should consider multiple ads for each offer and each product. And regarding follow me ads, follow me ads are, I believe you're referring to something called retargeting. Google refers to it as retargeting. And Drew, correct me if I'm wrong here, but retargeting is basically kind of that NSA way of the internet always knowing where you're at and where you've been. So if somebody has clicked on your ad, there's a cookie placed on your computer that says, hey, keep track of the fact that they were interested in my ad, and for the next 30 days or some period of time, no matter where you're at on the internet, you may see an ad. Your ad may show up for the person that clicked on your ad. It might show up when they're on eBay. It might show up when they're on CNN.com. So wherever they go on the internet, there are always Google ads displaying in other places on the internet through their partner network. So follow me ads, retargeting ads will follow you wherever you go on the internet for 30 days. And I'm sure that many of you have seen this happen when you're searching the internet. You have searched for something specific through Google, and you maybe went to their homepage, looked around on Amazon or something, and then for the next several weeks, no matter where you're at on the internet, there's always an Amazon ad that's sitting there staring at you in the face. Well, those are retargeting and follow me ads.
Okay. You said that the keyword, ad, and page should all match. So will I have more than one landing page?
You can have more than one landing page, depending on how many. If you have one offer, if you only have one offer, then essentially what you want to do is you want to make sure there are a number of those important keywords on that one offer page.
Okay.
one of the popular things that we use with our real estate clients is our home profit calculator. Now, with the home profit calculator, I'm giving away a little bit of secret sauce here, but with our home profit calculator, some of the relevant keywords for that are home value, home estimate, sell for profit, selling real estate. So all those keywords we try to have somewhere hidden among the landing page, and then the ads will also have those keywords connected to the keyword searches. So you don't necessarily have to have multiple landing pages. If you only have one offer, you can have one landing page, but you're going to want that landing page to have a number of the keywords that you're targeting with your pay-per-click.
Okay. So that leads us to the next question of, how will I know that a certain lead comes from pay-per-click? Whether that lead has come from pay-per-click or from organic or from whatever else.
Well, that can be done, obviously, if you have a lead capture, you can identify where the lead came from with certain ways you manipulate your ads. But there are also metrics set up within each of these host advertisers, Google, Yahoo, and Bing, where you can actually put code on your website so that when somebody clicks on your ad, if they get to, for example, if they click on your ad to buy a mattress and they go through and actually purchase the mattress, then Google will know that they went from the ad to completing a purchase, and it shows up as a conversion in your host advertiser's data. So you'll go into your Google pay-per-click account, and it'll show you that you had 12 people click on your ads, and today you had 12 people click on your ads, and 2 of them purchased. And you can link a purchase to a click through that source. You'll be able to see that that 2 of your clicks generated money for your business.
Okay. We have 4 more questions, and these are probably, I'm sorry?
Go ahead, Grandson.
Okay. We have 4 more questions, Dustin, so I won't keep you too long, and everyone else also will be respectful of your time. And these can be answered pretty quickly, and I think Dustin alluded to them in different areas of the presentation. Can you remind me of how often you'll send us reports?
Sure. So generally speaking, and this depends upon the number of clients that we currently are working with, but generally speaking, we send reports on Tuesday for the previous week's activities. And our pay-per-click week runs Monday through Sunday. So Monday through Sunday, the results of that campaign will come to you in a report on Tuesday. Okay. And also, generally speaking, our report includes the previous week's activity and the activity over the entire time that we have run your campaign.
Perfect. Here's a good one. Would it be wise to use PPC, pay-per-click, as a brand name recognition campaign?
It's not a terrible idea. It kind of depends upon how much money you want to spend to get your brand out there. We do have a client that spends a great deal of money right now simply focused on brand recognition. We are beginning to manage his account. A new client we just took on, but he has spent a number of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, creating brand awareness for his business via pay-per-click. It is not a terrible idea. It can be a costly endeavor, and it would still require that you know, generally speaking, what you're doing. If you're going to try to create brand awareness with a pay-per-click campaign, I would suggest that you have your brand, your business name, whatever it is you're trying to create awareness of, at the top of every single ad, and your keywords then would be relevant to whatever product or service you're providing. So if I was doing a brand awareness campaign via pay-per-click, I would make sure my brand is painfully obvious in every single ad that I write.
Very good. answer on that one. I like that. Painfully obvious. I like that. Okay. Two more. These are fairly simple. What is the minimum budget you require? Minimum monthly budget.
Sure. So typically we require a minimum budget of $500 per month. There might be a little bit of leeway in that, but the $500 per month gets us to roughly $15 a day. And we know, given the average cost per click across all industries, that with a $15 per day budget, we are going to get enough data to optimize your campaign and make it perform in the way that we want it to. So that's generally why we require a $500 per month. However, if I'm being completely open and honest about this, and I want to be that way with our clients and potential clients, I can tell you that if you were to offer a $500 budget to try it out, in a matter of weeks, you would not have spent your entire $500, but you would probably know whether or not the campaign is productive. So while we do say minimum budget required, we're kind of talking about how much we can spend per day rather than how much we really want to spend over the course of an entire month. The minimum budget is really based upon how much we would like to allocate per day.
All right, sweet. Last but not least, cost after the first 30 days is?
Cost after the first 30 days is dependent upon how much of a budget you are using in some respects and how large your campaign is. So generally speaking, with our smallest budgets, the cost is, I believe, about $145 per month to manage it.
Right.
But there is a depending upon the size of the campaign, that can change. So maybe the best way to put it is minimum is around $145 per month, but I can't tell you that's what it will be for you depending on your campaign.
Okay, cool. Well, that answers all the questions. I like this round of questions. Very thorough and detailed, very good questions. So everyone, make sure you attend to the webinar coming up, final part of the webinar, part 4, on Tuesday. That's right, this coming Tuesday, we are going to be sharing information on part 4, which is the bonus session. And Dustin has some really great information and kind of a really nice, what I like to call an SEO hack, but I won't use that word like that, but it's a very good technique in order to continue to move up in the SERPs, or the search engine result pages. Thank you very much for attending all. I respect your time, and thank you, and we will see you again next Tuesday. Same time, same place. Thanks a lot.